Straight ahead on 12 News, Drive-thru worship. We'll take you to the Maple Grove Church that offers Lenten prayers on the go. Then,
this is really minimal commitment with maximum reward.
A new program where you could win money for saving money. But first, a coaching lesson that puts helping others above team.
I don't regret it. It was the right thing to do.
12 News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. An Armstrong Nordic ski coach is teaching his team about the true meaning of sportsmanship.
Assistant coach Doug Hubred recently did something few people would think of doing. Here's reporter Sonia Goins.
Doug Hubred has coached the Armstrong Nordic ski team for 3 seasons. Some folks might say the highlight of his career happened February 1st during the Section 6 Boys Nordic Ski Meet.
Our boys were in contention to go to state meet, and they were really just hammering. They're going for it.
The 2 top teams at sections go to state. Armstrong and St. Louis Park were competing for a top spot when something happened on the course.
A young man from St. Louis Park fell, and when he got up, his pole was broken.
That skier was number 12, Ben Chong.
When I fell, I was thinking, this is it, like the race is over.
Poles are really important when it comes to cross-country skiing. You use them for balance and momentum.
It was my senior year in my sections race, so if we didn't do well at that race, we wouldn't move on to state.
Even though St. Louis Park was a rival, Coach Hubred helped Chong.
As he came right by, I handed him a pole, and off he went.
He easily could have just not given me that pole and given his team like a really easy chance at winning.
That unselfish act of kindness allowed Chong to finish the race.
That he'd be willing to give me that pole and save my race, just it meant the world to me.
It was a close race, but in the end, St. Louis Park won. Chong says the victory is bittersweet.
I also felt really bad for the Armstrong team.
Coach Hubred, meanwhile, says he's pleased with his actions, even though it may have cost his team a trip to state.
At the same time, it was the right thing to do for that young man. I don't regret it. It was the right thing to do.
Ben Chong says he'll never forget Coach Hubred's kindness.
I can't thank the Armstrong coach enough for doing that to me.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Chong's family wrote a letter to Coach Hubred thanking him. That letter has gone viral on social media. Meanwhile, one Armstrong boys skier did qualify individually for state. The Armstrong girls Nordic team also qualified.
A fatal crash on Interstate 94 in Rogers this morning left a truck driver dead. That's the truck you see in a moment here off the road on the right in this MnDOT traffic camera photo. State Patrol says the truck was westbound near County Road 81 when it ran off the highway and eventually caught fire. It's not clear if the driver died in the crash or a medical situation may have caused the accident. Traffic on westbound 94 was down to 2 lanes in that direction on Wednesday morning. The driver's name has not been released. The owner and the manager of a Maple Grove bar have each been charged with a felony crime for illegally reselling a Wisconsin beer they didn't have a license for. 37-year-old Brandon Halvaka of St. Michael and 28-year-old David Lantos of Brooklyn Park are accused of buying Spotted Cow beer from Hudson, Wisconsin liquor stores and reselling it at Maple Tavern. Spotted Cow is made by New Glarus Brewing. Its beers are not licensed for resale in Minnesota.
In Osseo, an opportunity to see police work from an officer's point of view.
I think a lot of people make quick assumptions about officers and about the way our tactics may be, and all of those things we can show basis why we do on traffic stops or any type of a contact with citizens. We can explain all of that.
For the first time, the Osseo Police Department is hosting a Citizens Academy. It's an 11-week commitment every Tuesday night starting in April. Osseo residents will learn the court system, meet with firearms instructors, even go through scenario training where they are put through split-second decisions.
We're going to use this program to get people to come into our department, open up the front door, let them see why we do what we do, and also to give them an inner looking and inner workings of our department so that they know what their tax money is going for.
To apply, you can pick up a brochure at the Osseo Police Department. The Citizens Academy will be capped at 10 people.
A battle over road funding may be shaping up between inner and outer ring suburbs. That's according to Hennepin County Commissioner Jeff Johnson. Johnson told the Plymouth City Council this week that most of the area's future growth will be in the outer suburbs, and that's where he says there should be better planning for roads and highways. Johnson says he may need Plymouth's help to update parts of the Metropolitan Council's 2030 transportation plan.
The map was a bit shocking because almost all of the projects were in Minneapolis or the inner ring suburbs, despite the fact that almost all of the growth is outside of Minneapolis and the inner ring suburbs. So there's going to be a battle there, and I may ask some of you for help on that.
Johnson told the council there is no question that Minneapolis roads are older and need work, but he said planning should include the outer suburbs as well. In Brooklyn Park, planning is in the works for a new 200,000 square foot building near Highway 610. If approved, Brooklyn Park-based Star Exhibits would move into the new building. The company designs and constructs displays for businesses to use at trade shows and corporate events. Star Exhibits employs about 100 people.
A special group of dogs remain up for adoption at the Animal Humane Society in Golden Valley. In early January, the Animal Humane Society rescued 47 dogs from a barn in Carver County. The owner had been evicted and the dogs had nowhere to go. So far, 28 dogs have been placed in homes. 6 remain up for adoption.
They're not your typical cruelty case dogs where they're going to need a ton of extra work in comparison to just a regular dog, but they do need, the adult dogs anyways, need a little bit more care. They may not be house trained. They were living in a barn, so they're not used to being in your house, on your carpet, living on your furniture.
The dogs are mostly hounds or pointers. Several of the dogs are in foster care where they are preparing to go up for adoption. Coming up, a new statewide program that aims to get more people to save money.
Then later in sports, Cooper battles Bloomington Kennedy for the Metro West Conference lead in girls basketball.
But first, another goosebump alert for Thursday. Temperatures only reach the teens. We'll be right back. The chance at winning millions in Powerball often motivates people to go out and buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, the numbers show Minnesotans spend millions of dollars playing the lottery each year, but nearly a quarter of people do not have a savings account. A new law and a new incentive program is designed to change that. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains in today's Money Savers.
This is one way to talk to our members about saving for themselves for life's emergencies.
Turn non-savers into savers.
This is our Wincentives Savings Big Check.
That's the idea behind a new statewide program called Wincentives Savings.
It's $25 per entry.
North Memorial Federal Credit Union is one of 14 credit unions participating.
When you look at the no risk factor, it's a no-brainer.
Here's how it works. When you deposit $25 a month into a Wincentives savings account, your name is entered into a drawing to win $100 a month. And again for a quarterly $500 prize, and then again for one annual prize of $5,000.
And what we're going to want to do,
you are allowed up to 4 entries a month, which means you are saving at least $100 a month.
And this explains the Wincentive account.
More than 40 Wincentive savings accounts opened up at North Memorial since January 1st, which is when the Minnesota law went into effect, allowing financial institutions to raffle cash prizes to customers as incentives to save.
You're going to see that there are a couple different prize pools.
And today, this branch is excited that the first list of statewide winners is out.
We do have 4 $100 winners out of our pool of just over 40 members who came in and opened an account. So when you look at that, 1 in 10 people who open an account will walk away with $100.
With such good odds on month 1, the expectation here is more people will be signing up to save.
There's no added fees, just them committing to saving their own dollars for their own potential future purposes.
In Robbinsdale, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
Programs like this have had success in other states. In Michigan, more than 11,000 people signed up, and every person who did wound up saving at least $1,000 by the end of the first year. Who couldn't save more money?
Nice,
We all
right.
did, right? Coming up, a drive-thru in Maple Grove that includes forgiveness to go.
But first, we have girls section hockey highlights, including a big win for Maple Grove. John Jacobson has that and more up next in sports.
Maple Grove girls hockey, they get on the board fast and one step closer to possible state.
One more win and a trip to the state tournament, perhaps. The Maple Grove girls hockey team is in a new section this season, Section 5AA. The Crimson played for a spot in the section championship game as they face Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids in the semifinals. Maple Grove attacks early. First try bounces away, but they keep with it. Taylor Wente scores, and the Crimson are on the board 3 minutes in. A goalie's nightmare here. Claire McLean dumps it in from center ice and it eludes goalie Katie Thomas. That gives Maple Grove a 2-0 lead. Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids gets a good chance later in the period. Lily Hackett to Taylor Turnquist, but Coco Francis makes the save. And it stays 2-0 after one. Second period, it's Wente to Maya Martinez for a goal, and the Crimson take a 3-0 lead. They lead 4-0 after 2 periods. Francis isn't tested a lot, but she's ready when the shots come. Making another save here. Maple Grove cruises to a 5-0 win, and they advance on to the final. Centennial beat Blaine in the other semifinal, so it's Centennial and Maple Grove for the section title Friday night at 7 at Roseville Arena. 12 highlights of Wayzata's Section 6AA semifinal Thursday starting at 4 here on 12 News. In Class A girls hockey, Powers Blake and Breck are on a collision course again in Section 5. The top-seeded Bears taking on Totino-Grace in the semifinals. Blake's Carly Bullock is one of the state's best. The senior weaves through traffic and scores, putting the Bears ahead 1-0 39 seconds into the game. But the Eagles don't take long to tie it up. Number 21, Allison Parnell, working hard, gets back on her feet, goes in and scores, and it's 1-1. Back comes Blake. Sarah McClanahan into the Grace zone, fires and scores, and the Bears are back in front 2-1. A lot of scoring in this first period, trailing 3-1. Grace's Lauren Sheneman throws the puck out front. Isabel Lewis scores. Grace is within a goal at 3-2. Blake gets a big goal in the period's final minute. It's Bullock again, putting the puck in high, and Blake leads 4-2 after one. From there, they dominate the scoring. Bullock feeding the pass to Molly McKinney for the goal. Bullock finishes the game with 4 goals and 3 assists, and Blake skates into the section final with an 8-2 win. In the second semifinal, Breck met Princeton Big Lake Becker. Great start for the Tigers in this game. Kenzie Scusa passes right out front to Larkin Walter, and she scores just 16 seconds into the game. That's Walter threading a perfect pass to Maddie Peterson for the goal. Tigers are up on the Mustangs 2-0 after one. Breck gets on board in the second period. Grace Zumwinkel to Sydney Breeza. Big shorthanded goal there for the Mustangs to make it 2-1. Later, Grace Zumwinkel skates in alone, and she'll score in a backhander, and Breck goes in front 3-2. The Mustangs add 3 more goals in the third period. Cheyenne Harris shoots, and Zumwinkel redirects it in for her 3rd goal tonight. Breck skates away with a 6-2 win. Number 2 seed Breck now takes on top seed Blake for the Section 5A title. That's Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at Parade Ice Garden. The Cooper girls basketball team came into Tuesday night in a tie for first place with Bloomington Kennedy in the Metro West Conference standings. The co-leaders met up in Bloomington. Highlights from this one: Tyra Spencer runs the break for the Eagles, delivers a nice pass to Honor Finley for 2. Alexa Nance gets a rebound and put back here for a Hawks basket. But Kennedy dominates the first half. Amira Sahid-El hits the floater, and the Eagles are up 30-13 at halftime. The teams trade threes early in the second half. Lauren Johnson hits for Cooper, and Amani Sahid-El answers at the other end for Kennedy. And the Hawks can't stop Kennedy's LaShayla Wright-Ponder. She scores 22 points and leads the Eagles to an easy victory. 63-39 is the final. In addition to the Breck Blake girls hockey final that we mentioned, there are a couple of other big events going on locally in prep sports Thursday night. The Section 5AA gymnastics meet starts at 5:30 Thursday afternoon at Champlin Park High School. 8 teams, including defending section champion Champlin Park, are there, along with Maple Grove, Osseo, Park Center, Rogers, and Wayzata. And also Thursday, the Wayzata boys hockey team, winners of 6 of their past 7 games, host top-ranked and unbeaten Benilde St. Margaret's. That game faces off at 7 o'clock at the Plymouth Ice Center, and it can be seen live here on Channel 12 and also on the web at 12.tv. And that's a look at sports.
All right, thanks, John. We'll be right back. Today marks the beginning of Lent for those who follow Christianity.
And on the first day of Lent, Christians traditionally go to church to have ashes applied on their forehead. And as Delane Cleveland reports, one Maple Grove church is celebrating Ash Wednesday in one of the most convenient ways possible.
And just stepping a few feet out the church to meet people where God can intersect.
Maple Grove Lutheran Church is located near two heavily traveled roads.
At one point, we're getting frustrated because people would take a shortcut through the parking lot.
Yet through that frustration,
I am Pastor Chris.
Pastor Chris Childs found an Ash Wednesday opportunity.
Instead of putting up a sign that says no drive-through traffic, it was like, no, this is an opportunity. These people are here, and let's figure out some creative ways to meet them.
They came up with the idea of putting up signs near the parking lot entrances that invite people to stop by for drive-through Ash Wednesday blessings.
It's cool. I'd never seen anything like it, so I thought, well, check it out.
It is a little bit odd. It's the first time I've heard of it, but I think it's fantastic.
Fantastic, not just because of the convenience and speed with which ashes can be administered during frigid temperatures.
I don't want to know what the temperature is today or the wind chill.
But because there are segments of the population that can't make it in for the traditional Ash Wednesday service.
So I'm going through cancer treatment, but it has a very positive outlook.
For each car that passes through,
I give you these ashes in the sign of the cross.
Pastor Childs welcomes the visitors with a prayer.
Give them the peace that you give.
And some literature about the season of Lent.
We've got Lenten devotions.
A conversation about how ashes are a symbol of our mortality.
We remember that we are dust, and to dust we shall return.
And how each day is an opportunity to make a difference in the world.
They're feeling a draw to God. And so there's a conversation to be had.
An avid Minnesota Twins fan, Pastor Childs compares Lent to spring training.
It's that opportunity that comes around each spring to really intensify and work at our relationship with the Lord.
This idea of drive-through ashes began here several years ago. And for some people, they hope the tradition will endure.
Even if you only have 5 minutes, come to the drive-thru because this is just the best. I hope this never goes away. This is just great.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland.
And that's worth a big amen.
Amen.
12 News.
Yeah, glad to have you.
Amen. Church officials say roughly 15 cars came by during the 2-hour period when they were offering the drive-through blessings. And they've done this a few years, a neat outreach for the church, too.
It really is, absolutely.
That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here again tomorrow, starting at 4.